Have you ever felt like travel should be more than just getting from point A to point B? More than just, checking a place off your bucket list? Well, we're going to dive into a travel company called Return Africa, which is built on that exact idea, where every single trip is about returning to something truly essential.
And it really starts with a personal story. This quote here from the co-founder, PJ Masson, it's not just some nice memory. It's literally the seed that the entire company grew from. It sets up this powerful theme of return right from the get-go, a promise that a kid made to a piece of land that, would end up becoming his life's work.
So right off the bat, you can tell this is not your typical safari company. Nope, its whole philosophy is built around a completely different way of thinking about travel itself. It's all about a return, to origin, to rhythm, and to meaning.
So what exactly do they mean by return? Well, for them, it's not about going back to a place you've already been. It's about reconnecting with something more fundamental. Things like the natural world, a slower pace of life, a deeper sense of your own purpose. It's all about finding meaning in the quiet moments and in the stories that the land itself holds.
And get this philosophy wasn't just cooked up in a boardroom as some marketing gimmick. It was actually forged in the real world through some pretty dramatic events. The company's origin story is this incredible tale of how a total disaster actually led them to their true purpose.
This timeline really lays it all out. Okay, so it starts with that childhood promise we just talked about. Then, boom, 2013, a pivotal moment. Devastating floods completely wipe out the original Pafori camp. But here's the thing. Instead of just rebuilding, they chose to restore. They saw it as a chance to bring back not just the buildings, but the very soul of the place. And that single decision, that act, became the guiding principle for everything they've done since.
And that really drives home the point that their foundation wasn't just commercial. It was deeply emotional, and you could even say ethical. It was a calling, a mission to honor the incredible history of this very specific place, the ancestral lands of the Makuleke people. And that sets the stage for the most important part of their story.
Which brings us to the real heart and soul of Return Africa, its partnership with the Makuleke community. And let me be clear, this isn't just a side note or a feel-good bullet point. It is the entire foundation of their work in the Kruger National Park.
Just listen to these words from Godfrey Beloyo, who's the general manager and a leader in the Makuleke community. It's so powerful. His community literally made history. They had the first successful land claim inside Kruger National Park, and then, and this is the amazing part, they made the incredible choice to keep that land dedicated to conservation for everyone to be able to experience.
And we're not just talking about some symbolic partnership here. Look at this number, 95%. That's the percentage of the staff at the Pafori camps who are from the Makuleke community. This goes way beyond just jobs. It's about genuine ownership, it's about pride, and it's about making sure that the people whose ancestral land this is are the ones who benefit most from the tourism it attracts.
And why is this land so incredibly special? Well, because of the community's stewardship, it's one of the most ecologically vital areas on the entire continent. Get ready for this. An absolutely astonishing 75% of all of Kruger National Park's biodiversity is found right here, on this one piece of land. That just shows you what happens when conservation is led by the community that knows the land best.
And all of this deep partnership, it completely shapes the experience when you visit. This is not about racing around in a Jeep, trying to tick animals off a checklist. No way. It's about unhurried, respectful exploration. It's about walking, it's about listening, and it's about understanding that the history of the people is just as much a part of this landscape as the elephants and the lions.
Okay, so you think you've got the picture, right? Deep in the bush, incredible wildlife, amazing community partnership. But the story doesn't stop there. This core idea of return turned out to be so powerful that they decided to apply it to a completely different world, the coast. So, they expanded. You have the Pafori collection deep in the wild heart of Kruger. We're talking sacred wilds, ancient heritage, those iconic fever tree forests. And then you have the Cape collection down in Cape Town. Talk about a contrast. You go from the remote bush to coastal elegance and the vibrant culture of a world-class city.
But here's the beautiful part. Even though the settings are dramatically different, that common thread, that core idea, it stays exactly the same. So whether you're tracking wildlife in Pafori or you're watching the sunset over the Atlantic in Cape Town, the invitation is always the same: to return, to connect with nature, with culture, and with a deeper sense of meaning.
So when you boil it all down, Return Africa isn't really selling you a product. They're not just selling a trip. they're offering an invitation. It's a chance to step into a story that's already happening and to become a part of it yourself.
What they're really doing here is creating a model for a totally different kind of tourism, one where every single visit actually contributes to a positive legacy. It's about creating sustainable futures, fostering real human connections, and turning travel into this living, breathing force for renewal, for communities, and for ecosystems.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. It's the one they leave with every guest, and it's the one I'll leave with you today. In a world that's always, always pushing us forward, faster and faster, what are the essential things you feel a need to return to?